On this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock.
Trade. Mark your calendars for July 24th. Changes are coming for Google advertisers.
Be ready to be loved, B2B marketers. LinkedIn releases a slew of new features that have us saying it's about damn time. We miss you, Shep.
Back off that blackout news because Reddit has new product ads and targeting that contextual love.
All on today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Friday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Greg Finn.
I'm Jess Budd.
I'm Nicole Waddington.
And it is officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on June 16th, 2023. Welcome, everybody. What's happening in your life here, Jess, before we get to a slew of news here?
Yeah. Slew of news. Well, I recently had to have some lab work done and I went to Quest Diagnostics and I experienced something that I feel like I just haven't had before. So you guys have been before, right? You go and you have an appointment and your name is up and it tells you what time your appointment was and you see everybody else in the running. So I walk in, I sign in, I sit down. There's this nice, what I think is a nice old lady sitting in the waiting room with me. She's the only other person. So clearly it's both of us. We're on the board, right? Her name goes away, which if you've been there before, you know means they're coming for you. Her name goes away. Mine's still up there. There's two doors. Out one door comes a technician, calls my name. And the woman goes, excuse me. Immediately, my name gets called. There's no wait. She just, excuse me. I had an appointment and I was here first. And the tech just looks at her and goes, okay, well, the other person's coming to get you. And she comes out the other door, calls this lady in. The lady goes in. I wait for a second for her to get up, go around me, and then I go in and I think, whatever, that was kind of rude. We both had an appointment at the same time, whatever. So I'm having my blood done and now it's time for the urinalysis. So the tech hands me the cup and she's like, okay, you can go to the bathroom now. It's open. I get up to go to the bathroom. This other woman walks into the bathroom with her cup and she goes in before me. I'm like, fine, no big deal. It was just quick pee. No, I waited for like 10 minutes because this woman was in the bathroom. And I understand people take time to do things, that's fine. But she really had to get in front of me. Whatever. I wait my turn. I go in there. She didn't flush the toilet. And I know, I don't know if she did this on purpose to me because she's just mad at me or if she just who doesn't flush the toilet?
She must have been like performance anxiety. Like she must have been caught up trying to fill the cup.
No,
I could hear how many times she set off the dryer as well. She dried her hands for a long time. She kept doing it. She was out to get me for no reason. No reason.
Alpha, like nobody's ever been alpha in their life.
But like, first of all, why is there only one bathroom in a place that performs lab tests? That's crazy. But she did it on purpose. She was taking her time with the hand dryer. She set it off so many times and she didn't flush the toilet. And I had to go in and flush this woman's stuff down the toilet just to perform my task, which I was in and out. I was very upset with the whole experience. Wow. I didn't do anything. She was out to get me.
Wow.
I know. Society is crumbling.
I did a lot of stuff, and this would be some kind of show because we just wrapped up SMX Advance. It was great. Did a keynote with Kaya from Microsoft. I think we had 7 other Q&A and panels that I ran through. All that's going to be free, I guess. But this show might go one way or another because I don't think I can even talk anymore.
You're done talking.
Yeah, I'm done talking. It was a great show. A lot of listeners were there. It was awesome to see. And it was just great sessions overall. So we'll share that link out again once it's up for download. I think it's usually around for like 3 months or something, and it's free download for all those sessions. So we'll see. I'm on my last legs. I don't think anybody can stand hearing my voice anymore, but God bless you all.
And I just feel like what you're trying to say is if this show sucks, it's your fault and deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if it's awesome, I'll take the credit too. All right. In the main news this week, Reddit has been making news, most of it bad, with the boycotts over the API constraints, and more on that to come later. But they've also released 2 sneaky cool ad options for advertisers. The first being contextual keyword targeting. And this new feature will help you reach customers in active conversations on Reddit by choosing specific keywords that you want their brand to be associated with. You can also align keywords with creative copy for increased relevance. So, according to Reddit, it's important because every day Reddit users contribute to more than 400,000 conversations on the platform, and with each passing second, an average of 2 questions are asked on Reddit. They receive an average of 19 responses from real people. I would argue that that number is cut in it's like a third. I thought everything shut down yesterday. I haven't looked at it today, but everything was down over these boycotts, which I'll talk about in the organic section here. But it is pretty nice. Like, you're going to be able to go and not just target a subreddit or something like that. If somebody's saying like, hey, what is the best sneaker for basketball in like a dad, subreddit or something, you can be, hey, it's the Air Monarchs or something like that. Which
you wouldn't normally be targeting just dads because that's way too general. But if they're talking about something, that's really nice.
So I think that's cool. And it's kind of got that search flair to it where, it's contextual. So love to see that. Another new ad format is product ads, where you can now target consumers already in the midst of their shopping journey. It will display information such as product descriptions and pricing. It kind of looks like those typical shopping gallery ads that you see. It'll have call to action buttons that direct users to a brand's product page, and you'll be able to create ads directly from existing catalogs quickly and easily with no need for additional resources. And it also, one of the cool things, if you're simultaneously activating ad campaigns on competitor platforms, you'll be able to easily import them with the Reddit Ads Manager. So I see the example here that you probably see on the screen is that there's Liquid IV. Are you still a Liquid IV person?
I love these so much.
I can't. It's too much sugar.
Helpful. Yeah, you're a fancy
Can't do it.
man.
Can't do it. I'm a LMNT, I think. Element.
Oh, I've heard of
Those
that.
are more
It's just-
expensive. though,
Yeah,
right?
but it's just salt. It's just like taking salt and dumping it in your mouth.
That's the opposite of hydration.
I disagree. It's debatable. But yeah, those are pretty cool. 2 new options, and the contextual is great for really anybody, to be honest. And then if you got products, give it a shot with Reddit ads.
All right. So according to LinkedIn's 2023 B2B marketing benchmark, 76% of B2B CMOs feel the pressure to deliver results, and LinkedIn has some solutions. So buckle up, everyone, because there's a slew of new features and ad formats for B2B advertisers on LinkedIn, starting with AI copy suggestions. So you can use generative AI to create text and headlines for your ad creative using data from your LinkedIn page. And this is rolling out to a limited alpha in North America, and they have plans to roll it out to additional languages and regions in the coming months. So participating advertisers will see this new AI generative copy suggestion experience in their campaign managers, ad creation flow, and you'll have the ability to select 1 out of 5 copy options, make edits, and automatically apply these changes to campaigns. So it sounds kind of similar to what we see in Google Ads with their generative AI and making copy suggestions for you right in the platform. The second update is page messaging. So when a member has questions about a product or a company, they can reach out directly to the brand through their page, which is kind of neat. They also have new ad formats. So the first being in-stream video ads, which will appear on mobile or desktop apps and sites that will play at the beginning, middle, or long-form video content on trusted publisher sites across the LinkedIn audience network. Conversation ads, which have already been announced, but they're not available in the EU yet. And then thought leadership ads. And then they also have announced that they're doing a new Audience Insights API. So agency partners will now be able to unlock unique LinkedIn insights so they can better understand the audiences they're helping their clients target with their campaigns. And then finally, they have a new B2B leaderboard based on a methodology they're calling the B2B Index. So this takes into account creative quality, effectiveness, investment, and outcomes to compare brand efforts across companies of similar industries and sizes. And they'll use that information to populate a leaderboard every 6 months so that brands can consider how they might refine their marketing strategy for maximum impact. So lots of new LinkedIn updates for B2B advertisers.
So Nicole, as our resident LinkedIn expert, your thoughts?
I think all of these sound in theory great. Again, execution is always up in the air. So we'll have to see when we get into the platform this all shakes out. But I'm always game for new features and more insights, especially from LinkedIn, because sometimes their reporting is a little limited.
Sticking with ads here, this happened last week, but of course it was after we recorded, so here we are. Google had announced some changes to its global trademark policy, as well as how it will process complaints in that regard. Starting July 24th, Google will only consider trademark complaints against specific advertisers and ads, which is a departure from their current system in which all ads in an entire industry can be restricted from using trademark material once a complaint is filed. So according to Google, this existing system has resulted in overflagging and industry-wide blocks that are problematic for a lot of advertisers. And the new approach aims to reduce this while speeding up the response time to trademark complaints. And Ginny did expand on this from her ads liaison account on Twitter. She said, today, trademark owners can opt to apply the restriction to all advertisers in their industry or to specific advertisers. With this change, restrictions will only be applied to the specific advertisers identified by the trademark owner. It should make things faster and more efficient. So PPC Greg said that he had a hard time imagining how efficiencies would be gained here. And Ginny did say that under the new process, you would still be able to make complaints at the advertiser level and reduce overflagging. Again, that was an issue that Google had identified. One thing she noted was that trademark owners won't need to constantly flag when they want to authorize new accounts, including their own, to use their trademark. So that's like a flip side application of this. She also said that they expect for this to have a positive impact on advertisers. And after the policy change takes effect, that restrictions will only be applied again against those specific advertisers. So somebody posed the question, do you think that's okay for trademark owners? I can see how it might feel like you might have to do more work.
Yeah, it seems like a hassle.
Yeah. So I guess it probably depends on the word, right? Because some people's trademark is a common word.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like I've encountered the opposite problem where it's a common word and we're not in the same industry and you're constantly trying to appeal an ad. So I can see both sides.
Yeah,
in that case, if you could get the approval, then that'd be nice.
Yeah, I can see, both sides of it. And it will take some time to see how it does shake out. The full implications of this change are yet to be known because the policy is changing on 7/24, but it's important to note that trademark restrictions implemented before that under the current policy will continue to apply, and Google will be gradually phasing out those limitations for most advertisers over the next 12 to 18 months. So if you've already been restricted from using something, that may continue to be in effect for the next year or so, or a year and a half. And in somewhat related news, Google is also rolling out the Ads Transparency Center to users worldwide. That's happening over the next few weeks. It will offer a searchable database of all ads on Google Search, YouTube, and Display. Users will be able to see information such as all the ads an advertiser has run, which ads were shown in a certain region, the last date that an ad ran, and the format of the ad, which is always nice. But Google had the stupidest example. They're like, if in their announcement, they said, if you're curious to understand if you recognize other ads from this brand, I don't care about that. Like that just seems like a silly use case, but whatever.
Oh, that's another Lululemon ad.
Yeah, right? Like, do you recognize it? Oh, I do. And I guess maybe if people are out there being super shady and their stuff isn't consistent, maybe you want to see how it all ties together. I don't know what users really cared that much to go into a deep dive.
You could tell somebody that is only ever worked at Google has been there. Like,
is writing this.
Maybe they'll recognize another ad from the brand.
I don't know.
No,
maybe,
there's a life outside your stupid system.
If Google is just generating things for you, though, maybe there is an inconsistent experience. So I could see perhaps, I'm sure that's not where they were going with that. I just thought of that on the fly, though, as a human brain. And it looks like PPC Greg, to bring him up again, got an email about it. He said beginning in July, Google may start showing targeting information on your ads. Assume it's similar to what Meta does today. And in the email, it does say that targeting information will be included. For example, a total number of recipients for each ad and the subject matter of the ad. But it does say targeting information there. And there were some funny replies too. Like somebody said, you're seeing this ad because Google's black box decided you were a good fit. The advertiser has no idea why either. I kind of loved that.
Dennis Moons. Nice one.
It's good. And I'm all for transparency. I think this is fine, but it would be nice on the flip side if the advertisers could get more info too. I would love to know how many people are actually checking in on our ads and want to see more of this information, because maybe then you could improve consistency across your brand, something like that.
$1 million idea. You figure out some way to like have the person that served the ad, like for a PMAX ad, you got to figure it out somehow. And they're like, this is why I saw it. And then like you give feedback and you're like, oh, this is what PMAX is doing.
Yeah. So maybe Christmas in July and we can ask Santa for that. I don't know. We'll see.
Google is finally launching the Perspectives search filter. And this was announced back at I/O, I believe. And you can see long and short form videos, images, and written posts that people have shared on discussion boards, Q&A sites, and social media platforms on a specific topic or search query. So Google will show more details about the creators of the content, such as their name, profile photo, or information about the popularity of the content, according to Barry Schwartz over on Search Engine Roundtable. The example shown is the Vision Apple Pro, and you can see that there's YouTube videos, there's posts on Reddit. Apparently those haven't been taken down yet. There's Mac rumors, and you can see other, again, YouTube kind of reviews of the product. I like this idea. I don't know how it's going to work necessarily, but the thing that is really tricky with this, I'm just going to quote from the legend Barry Schwartz here from the article. Google just can't make product, and I need to go on a diatribe. They don't know how to name things. They don't know how to launch things. Everything is so confusing. Okay, now I'm going to go to Barry Schwartz. The first time we saw Google testing the Perspectives search filter was early May. And in late March, Google launched a news perspectives feature that is different from this search filter. We also saw Google showing featured snippet perspectives early on, but Google launched them without the name perspectives. You don't make news perspectives and featured snippet perspective. Name a product.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And this show is going to be Glenn Gabe heavy, so it's going to be a good show. And he goes on to say that there's a video of the perspectives filter in action, and he has to really swipe to get to where he wants to go. He's doing some Yankees search about how much money they spend to win every game. And you can see there's a transition to Google Explorer at the end. But the biggest thing is on some queries, the perspectives is a little bit closer. And on other queries, perspectives, you really have to go and try to find it. Again, it's like, you might want to make that a little bit more uniform if you're trying to get people to use it. If people like it and they can't find it, they're probably not going to like it anymore. And then Glenn also said, focus on affiliate marketing, testing the perspectives filter more. I do see it show up first for some queries. Here's a best query, and the filter is first on the list. It makes sense if you're trying to find out what people think of certain category of products. And then he also says it's not currently being found in Google Search Generative Experience or SGE. Again, I'm done with words today. And he only sees it outside of SGE. So again, a lot more. If you want anything else on perspectives, just follow Glenn Gabe at Glenn Gabe on Twitter, the GOAT.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a #fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
From this week's PPC chat, there was some talk about, will Exact Match stay around? Probably not. Maybe. But I think everybody sort of agreed that you just really can't beat it for certain terms when you're really trying to have a good impression share and really trying to go after a certain market. PPC Kirk at PPC Kirk on Twitter says, keeping Exact around for 1, more advanced advertisers to focus on efficiency for a few key terms, and 2, to help SMBs get an account off the ground efficiently and thus win them to love search from the beginning are 2 major arguments for just leaving it there.
Yeah, it's already there.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it.
I agree with Kirk. And then Julie Bacchini, Salt J, says, I absolutely want Exact, even in its current state of being exact-ish, to stay. And you lay out 2 excellent reasons it should. I just don't think it will. To which PPC Kirk, at PPC Kirk on Twitter, says, I agree with you. It's a no-brainer to me. It's a way to maintain some goodwill with advertisers while pushing more people to automation than ever. And here comes the take of the week. Julie Bacchini, Salt J, probably has the most takes of the week ever. Somebody should go do the math for us on that. Julie says, I honestly do not think they care about goodwill with advertisers. At least not the average advertiser. They're the biggest game in town and acting like it. I get it. They are under tremendous pressure to grow ad revenue every single quarter, but it still sucks. All the reasons in the world to keep exact. Got to make those numbers end the quarter. OKRs. Got to hit those OKRs.
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI. ICYMI, people, this is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
All right, this week's ICYMI is from Reddit, and a Google rep, Dairy Production username, said, "Hey everyone, posted this in the PPC forum, so I'd figure I'd post here. Feel free to ask me whatever you want." And Shan's Beats asked, "What percentage of the time do you think you're pushing for clients to do something, even if it's not really for the best of their account?" And then goes on to give some background about how they work at an agency and they have seen some false or inaccurate information. Dairy Production answered, "I usually recommend things that are worth experimenting on. Nothing is ever guaranteed, so better not to go down that road. We are salespeople at the end of the day, but I think the majority of us are looking out for advertisers. But of course, there will be some bad apples."
I have a prediction. Greg Stradamus. Dairy Production. Somebody at Google is milking that information out to figure out who this person is, and they are no longer employed at the company.
Utterly sad.
And there's this long thread, but I'll just kind of read some highlights from it. So Dairy Production said...
What a name.
So someone asked, what do you think are the qualifications that Google looks for when hiring reps? And Dairy Production said, consulting, agency, and sales background are the three main ones. We manage a lot of accounts, so sales background
Manage
is
is a strong word.
Manage
is a very strong word.
You f*** up a lot of accounts.
It's not dairy management. It's dairy production. Sorry, Nicole.
All good. Great points here. Human Marketer asked, how does one become a Google rep? Do they need to have experience with Google Ads? Dairy Production says, lots of us come in with no experience prior. Lots of consulting and sales backgrounds. You just have to beat the interviews, which are not easy. No surprise there.
Keep going with this. This is my favorite part.
All right. Human Marketer follows up. So what kind of training is given to reps to make them answer clients' questions? Is this training open to the public? Dairy Production says, we go through 3 months of training before talking with advertisers. I don't think it's public, but we spend a lot of time in ads and learning the product. The ad certificate would probably be similar.
No.
This wasn't my favorite part. My favorite part is coming next. That was the wrong one. But he's saying like, oh, this is, this is similar to...
If it's similar to what ad certificate is like, that just tells you right there.
If it takes you 3 months to get that...
Wait for the next one.
You're being...
Yeah, wait for the next one. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to paint the whole story here. So Shaving Cream 97 says, basically gives some account background and says, does optimization score matter? And then Dairy Production says, it's relevant to an extent. Not all of it will be important to you. The actual percent, though, isn't important. And then Shaving Cream goes, is there any courses or classes you recommend taking? I have a dozen of questions. Dairy Production says, you can search Google Ad Certificate and it'll pop up. It's honestly hard AF, though.
Dairy Production?
I failed it a number of times.
You can Google the answers to the question!
You're idiots!
3 months?
Just search for the answers.
Do you know how I stay certified? I Google the full exam every time.
Yeah, if you pass that on your own, that is a sign you're not intelligent.
Shaving cream.
Dairy Production.
Dairy Production.
Failed it a number of times. So that's who you're dealing with on the phone here. And that's the people that are actually the best of the support.
To be fair, if you fail that certification course,
You're
you're probably
probably
a good
smart.
marketer. Yeah.
Those
So,
courses are
yeah.
trying to indoctrinate you. It is a load of propaganda that will make your account stink if you listen to it.
Now it's time for this week's Pew Pew Lightning Round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
First up in paid from @PPC Greg on Twitter, he noticed a new broad match keyword campaign setting in Google Ads. Very scary, people. In the screenshot, it says, your ads may show on searches that relate to your keywords, which ensures you get the best coverage and performance for your campaign. And then you can click on use broad match keywords for your entire campaign, or off use keyword match types.
I'm going to say this. The only saving grace, and it's not a saving grace, but it's close. They say to use broad match keywords, switch to a conversion or conversion value-based bidding strategy. I don't know if this automatically turns you to smart bidding
That's
or
a good
not.
point.
Mm-hmm.
If this doesn't automatically turn you to smart bidding, and they are saying it ensures you the best coverage and performance for your campaign, and you're on manual bidding, you will be fired. Your company will go out of business. I'm just going to start buying Google stock. They are taking every cent from advertisers that are just not advanced enough to see through this bullshit. To say, which ensures is a very strong word. Ensures you get the best coverage and performance for your campaign. If you are on manual CPC or eCPC and you switch to broad match, I will ensure that your performance will plummet and you will be out of a job. That is so wildly inaccurate. Wildly inaccurate. And the little warning isn't even correct. To use broad match keywords, switch to this. No, you can use broad match keywords in eCPC. You can use it with manual CPC. It's stuff like this is why there's no goodwill, like Salt J said before. This is deceptive. It is going towards one of those short-term OKRs of trying to move the revenue up at the expense of people using your platform. And this is why I think Elon's onto something. I don't like him, but he is trying to make something work for him, and he's not trying to worry about what the fuck's going to happen in July. He cares about July 2026. He's making people use the thing. Like, this is the stupidest, short-sighted thing that Google could ever do. People are going to lose so much money from this. So much money.
People will. Google won't.
Google, yeah, buy stock. That's what you can do. Buy Google stock.
I won't even try to follow up with that. But I will say that in the Google Ads help article about this, it says the feature isn't available for all users, but as Shep would say, gird your loins, people. I will not waste your time and read word for word what this article says. But they have a bunch of bullet points about impact on keyword selection logic within a Google Ads account. And it kind of clarifies what happens to each match type if you have certain match types in your account already, and if you turn it on or off. And it's Googleese. So I will let you look at the show notes, look at what they say. It makes no sense.
You also have to change the name of these things by now. I cannot believe there's not class action lawsuits from everybody in the planet that uses this fucked up system to say this isn't an exact match. Exact is a term in the English dictionary. In broad match, it doesn't even match broad anymore. It uses searchers' data, previous search history, and it's not broad match. And in phrase match, you don't even need the fucking phrase in there anymore. It has to change. There has to be somebody with a teeny bit of decency over there that can try to fix this. Because the thing is, you are preying on the people that need you the most, and you don't care. And people, this is why agencies will always stay employed. It's why you think you're ever going to get rid of agencies by making it this one. No. What you're doing is you're shaking. People aren't going to use Google Ads. People go to places that care about them. right? You go to contextual targeting on Reddit. Try something else because this is getting too hard and you are being deceptive and deceitful. And I've had enough. It's too much.
2022 Google Optimist of the Year.
Yeah, I'm the
Same.
most pro Google Marketer of the Year 2022. I won an award for it. And I haven't made the award yet, but I will make it and give it to myself.
And unfortunately, I have some more Google news. This, hopefully not as strong of opinions from Greg. Google has been testing 2 new designs for their Google Ads Manager interface.
2 new designs? Just joking.
And they've announced a winner of the test.
Oh.
So the winner is a 2-level menu on the left of the screen, main menu with pages organized into 5 high-level categories, which, take a look if you're watching on the video, a little confusing. So they have goals, campaigns, tools, billing, and admin. And the Google article says, if you're signed into ads today to discover a slightly different menu design, this is why. With the winner identified, we're moving everyone in the experiment over to this design. If you're not using the new design yet, you can expect to be welcomed in some time before the end of the year. You'll also be able to switch to the previous design as needed during the holiday season.
Oh, thank you.
I think
Thanks
How
for
considerate.
changing something I didn't ask you to change for. I just asked you to make it better.
the 2-column design is better than the other one they were testing, but it's still subpar compared to where we are today. Today's as slow as can be. If this could be any bit faster, I'll take faster.
Who gives a shit what it looks like?
Well, you have to click more with this new design.
I don't want to do that.
Nobody does. Again, Jess, you're an
Smoke.
advertiser.
Smoke and mirrors.
They don't care about you,
Oh, you're right.
right? They just want it to look cool.
On to another platform. Microsoft Advertising has updated its cross-device attribution model. So Danny Goodwin on Search Engine Land covered this. Their new cross-device attribution model will roll out later this month. So you might see a small increase in conversion reporting in your ad accounts. So be on the lookout for that. And on Twitter, Menahem Ani at Menahem Ani said, your badge just got a new name. Trusted Store on Google Ads is now Top Quality Store.
That's 1 letter away from quality score.
So
I know. I read it first as quality
Trusted
score.
I did
When I
too.
saw it.
Yeah.
is top quality. Oh, so what they're saying is they don't want to put their name and their badge of trusted on something because that is giving them like the trust of Google. So
But how do they know what your quality is?
I just want to know
Define quality.
who picked TQS as the term here. Like, can't you just say
Pronounce
like
that.
couldn't you just be like popular store or
Yeah.
good reviews or something like top quality store? I'm never going to be able to say quality store.
No.
It's just quality score.
Yeah. Sorry, more Google too, because Anthony Higman at Anthony Higman on Twitter said and noticed that there's a new opted into setting in automated location assets in Google Ads. It looks like you can opt in or opt out of automated locations, and then there's fine print with a checkbox, and it's automatically checked for you. And it says, grant Google Ads license to use merchant photos and other rich media from the linked Google business profiles in the advertising campaigns from this account. And then Anthony followed up with opinion/question. Shouldn't it be a requirement that we are informed of these pre-opted into changes that are pushed through, especially when we are granting license? I vote yes. And I second that, Anthony, because I checked all my accounts after I saw this. Very scary stuff. It was on. I had to go and turn it off. And I had to go into like 3 different hamburger level menus to find it and turn it off. Check your account.
And it doesn't say just merchant photos, it's other rich media from the linked business account. So you could have somebody that's like leaves a bad review. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, too many pickles on my hamburger or something. Or like you could you have bad photos come
That's
in?
what I-
too?
That's how I read it.
100%.
Yeah.
I have had people review my business. They were somewhere else. They took a photo. They were not at my business. They took a photo of someone else's business and left us a bad review. They weren't happy.
Oh. You know what?
That could be pulled in. It's not even my business.
I got a solution for you.
Yes.
I'm going to take that review,
Mm-hmm.
turn it into an ad for you.
Oh, thank you.
More Google Ads API announcements. So Nicole Agius on Search Engine Land covered the new Google Ads API version 14 that rolled out last week and broke down the 5 major updates that came from this. So just to cover it quickly, the first is account level negative keywords, which we've covered on the show before. Second being new recommendation types, eye roll, big eye roll. So dynamic image extension opt-in, lower target ROAS recommendation, and raise target CPA recommendation. The third being a new conversion action types. So this will help advertisers identify conversions imported from Google Analytics and determine if the conversion is from a GA4 or UA property. Fourth is offline conversion client summaries, which is a brand new field in customer resources that offers information about the offline conversion process, such as how many conversions were uploaded successfully and how many failed when the offload jump was executed. And then finally, a new generate forecast keyword metric to support keyword forecast metrics without needing to create a keyword plan first. And Nicola is on a roll because she also has coverage that Google is rolling out an automatically created assets pilot on PMax campaigns after announcing plans to do so at Google Marketing Live last month. So just to recap, Google can generate copy for Performance Max listings by analyzing the content on a brand's landing page, domain, and ads. But of course, with anything automated, there have been concerns raised by advertisers around the accuracy of these generated assets. So make sure you're checking what ad copy is being generated if you have this on, and also just in general, make sure you know what settings are on and off. And then finally, in paid, TikTok has launched a new AI ad script generator. Nicola also covered this in one of the articles. So this is a free tool that can create scripts in a matter of seconds and is available to all TikTok creators in the Creative Center. So if you're on desktop and you have TikTok for Business account, all you have to do is enter basic information about your product or service, and it will automatically generate a script. And if you don't like the script, you can run the inquiry again, and you can run it as many times as you want for no cost at all.
All right. And in organic news this week, we've got a lot here. So I'm going to fire through it from Danny Sullivan on his @Search Liaison account. It says 2 weeks ago, we started opening up access to SGE. Since then, we've made a number of quality updates, including a major improvement that reduces the time it takes to generate AI snapshots by half. We hope everyone testing it enjoys out a speedier experience. If you haven't yet signed up, check it out at labs.google.com/search. Maybe you should have just waited what has it been? 2 weeks since you launched the thing?
Not
made
long.
it double speedy, whatever. I have this on my personal account. I'm looking to book a trip to go see an Orioles game and a Twins game. I'm like, what's doing in Minnesota? The thing popped up, showed me stuff. I still can't get places with SGE. I don't care how fast it is. It is unusable.
I know. Was that the complaint?
No,
Speed?
it's not speed. It's like,
Right.
Go to the Mall of America. It's like, okay, you can't do it. I can't see where it is. I can't see who it's from. I can't believe that they launched this thing. If they launch it without citations, it is unusable. It's going to be the worst product launch that Google's ever had. And they made Google Plus, right? Like, this is going to be terrible. Next up, Google is trialing a new CTA that takes customers, consumers, whatever, directly to your website. It's a checkout pilot that can give you an extra opportunity to bring customers to your website, according to Search Engine Land. Basically, in the free listings, you can complete a form and a checkout will occur next to the visit site link on free product listings. So I would just say if you do sell products, check it out and turn that on, and you can then be able to just shoot people over like, I don't like it saying checkout though. Can you just say shop? I'm a big shop now guy. I hate the checkout.
I'm not ready to check out. I want to shop.
I want to shop now. But anyway, there's a great article if you want more over on Search Engine Land you can see how to do it. There, you need an ID, size, color, and all that. Right before we started to come down here, in the middle of SMX, Google launched about 4 new blog posts. And the first one is somebody should be jailed for this headline. virtually try on clothes with new AI shopping feature. What do you think about that? Before you look at this at all, what do you think about this when they say virtually try on clothes with new AI shopping feature?
I feel like it's my body and they put the clothes on.
Yeah, like some Warby Parker where they put the glasses on your face, right?
Yeah.
Working alongside our shopping graph, the world's most comprehensive data set, blah, blah, blah. You can try on women's tops from brands across Google, including Anthropologie, Everlane, H&M, and Loft. So just tap the products and try on badge on search. But then you have to select the model that resonates most with you.
Bamboozled.
Yeah.
That's not me.
That's not me. Like, what are you, Lulu's? Like, they do a good job, but they tell you this is the model, this is the size. Nobody's saying you can virtually try this on.
It's cool, but it ain't you.
It's not what you said.
You can see if up on screen, there'll be all these models that you can choose from, and you can find somebody that probably fits somebody that's much more similar than you than a standard stock photo, which is cool, but you can't try it on. You aren't these people.
These are a lot of bodies to choose from, too.
Right.
How could somebody possibly know? It's garbage.
It's fine, but you're not trying it on. That's my issue.
Yeah.
Like, don't overcomplicate things. Just say we have more models. We have more models. Whatever. Anyway, you can then, when you search, things might be catered to you. So whatever, it's kind of cool. But it's just deceiving. Everything has to be so, you just have to deceive it every second.
Words are important.
Okay.
Google.
And there's another post called Plan, Travel, and Shop this Summer with Help from Search Labs Experiments.
How do you feel about that?
I'm not going to use it. It's harder. It is harder to get to information with SGE. Usually you want improvements to be easier. SGE harder.
Backwards.
Because it implicitly says you can't trust this data. But you can't get to the source, so it is harder. So I don't use it when I actually need something. When I'm curious, I want to see what it looks like, I'll use it. But if I need something, cannot use SGE because it doesn't cite sources. So they said, if you ask detailed questions about a place or destination in search, you can see a snapshot that brings together the most helpful information available, not only from across the web, but also from the reviews, photos, and business profile details that people have submitted to Google from more than 200 million places in the real world. Do you know why they're pulling in all your business profile stuff?
Why?
So they can keep you on Google. They don't want you to go off and find real information. As marketers, your business profile, and we'll get to even more about it, is more important than ever. Google doesn't want you to leave. So you can then see and be like, I'm looking for a Bluetooth speaker, and it's like, hey, this is good for the shower, you freak. Go listen to your music in the shower, whatever.
What's wrong with that?
Do you listen to music in the shower?
100%. Phone on the toilet right next to the shower.
I don't know if there's anybody else in the world that cares less about audio quality than you. Like, seriously, like, you don't care about audio quality. Some people like audio files. You're like the opposite of that. You're like a file audio.
Thank you.
Anyway, you can get noteworthy factors, whatever. I don't care. One cool thing is with just general search, you can now add stuff to sheets. So maybe you're like looking for a recipe. You can see everything in the search results. And if you like something, you just kick it to a sheet. So you might be like, here are some ideas. Like, I'm going to go through this and maybe I'll rate it or something like that. You can say like, here are some different ideas for whatever the hell is in Minnesota for the Twins to go see Byron Buxton because my daughter's favorite team. But you can like label it out. So that's another cool feature that was announced in this post. Google also made a post called 8 Ways Google Lens Can Help Make Your Life Easier. A lot of it was things that have already been launched. But one of the new things is number 2 on the list, search for skin conditions.
Go to a dermatologist.
Yes.
They're taking your jobs, doctors.
No,
They're not.
You need to go see a doctor. That's me telling you. But if you want to take a picture of your jaw and see what you caught last weekend, you can do that. Throw it into Google Lens, and it will do its best job to diagnose whatever the hell you picked up. So that's
we always said, I mean, we haven't on the show, but like, you don't Google problems
You don't
with your
WebMD.
body.
You
No.
don't
No,
WebMD
you
that
take
stuff.
pictures and let Google do the diagnosing.
You can
for
take
you.
pictures if you want, but share them with your doctor.
Another thing that's pretty cool is if your degenerate children don't do their homework, you can get number 4, step-by-step help with homework problems. There's a homework help filter, so your kids can sit there watching Dude Perfect, not learning at all. And then lastly, number 8, this is the only other thing that seemed new to me. The power of Lens is coming soon to Bard. You would think it'd be the opposite way, like the power of Bard to be coming to Lens.
That's a good
but
point.
There's not much power in Bard, so whatever. You can take a picture. Somebody's taking a picture of their feet, probably throw it up on
Free.
fucking OnlyFans.
doing that.
But you can take a picture of your feet and be like, what are these shoes? Like, oh, these are gladiator shoes. I'm like, all right.
If you don't know that, it doesn't matter.
So, yeah, there's Bard there. And then lastly, there's another post about staying organized to plan trips with new updates to recents on desktop. Again, the big takeaway here is your business profile is more important than ever, but you can save it on desktop and then save things more easily than before. Okay, another thing, there's 3 new Google Map updates for trip planning and exploring. You can now see 500 plus landmarks around the emoji world because I couldn't say the word. And you can see, I don't know what this is, the Hall Marketplace, and you can see it in different conditions and whatever. All right, next up, there is a quote, a leak from Meta and Mark Zuckerberg talking about the Apple headset. I love this. So Mark says, but look, I think their announcement really showcases the difference in the values and the vision that our companies bring to this in a way that I think is really important. We innovate to make sure our products are accessible and affordable to everyone as possible. That is a core part of what we do. We've sold tens of millions of Quests. More importantly, our vision for the metaverse and presence is fundamentally social. It's about people interacting in new ways and feeling closer in new ways. Our device is also about being active and doing things. By contrast, every other demo showed a person sitting at a couch by themselves. I mean, that could be the vision of the future of computing, but it's not the one I want. There's a real philosophical difference in terms of how we're approaching this, and seeing what they put out there and how they're going to compete just made me even more excited in a lot of ways, optimistic where we're going and to succeed. And I think it's right. You look at that Apple stuff, it's like an addition, right? And he also talked about something else that was funny. He said, it costs 7 times more and now requires so much energy that you now need a battery and a wire attached to use it. It's
What's the point?
He's not wrong in that. Like,
Yeah.
they're two really different things. One is like augmented. How do you increase what you have in front of you? And the other is much more like connection type stuff.
I'm just really excited you said metaverse.
I don't have words today, Jess. I already told you that. From the Reddit side of things, there was a big boycott over on Reddit. Basically, Reddit saw that a lot of these AI-based tools were scraping content and powering and answers really from just human content and comments that were happening on Reddit. So they jacked up the API cost. Now, the problem is there are many tools out there that make life easy for moderators and a better Reddit experience for users. I'm not a moderator or anything like that, but that seems like where the real issue is like moderation with the current Reddit app is a problem. So what happened is all these subreddits basically went dark. They boycotted. Many are like on infinite hold until Reddit changes its API policy because it makes their life harder. They have to go to computers and things like that, which I totally get. But what happens is when you basically take your subreddit offline, like all these subreddits did, is a no index tag goes on the entire subreddit. So all of these subreddits that have gotten all these rankings, your entire subreddit goes no index, which is pretty crazy. And Glenn Gabe said some of the subreddits that went dark have dropped in visibility heavily, but the ones that have opened back up are quickly returning to the SERPs, which you'd expect. Interesting to track. Here's gaming and science. They're both back now, but check the drop they did. So go at Glenn Gabe if you want to see some of that stuff over there. And you can see a huge drop, and now it's picking back up. From Search Engine Roundtable, Google Search Console is improving video indexing and reporting. In the past, it used to just give an error saying Google could not determine the prominent video on the page. And now you get to see if the video is outside the viewport, if the video is too small, or if the video is too tall. So pretty cool there. This came from Android Police. Wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo. And they say, Google experiments with drag and drop for your search results. I don't know what this is, to be honest. Glenn Gabe was taking a look at it, and you can apparently take one of the listings, pick it up, and drag it back to the top if you go up high enough to the search and research with that.
Why would you do that? This is a lot of work for nothing. Just click the thing.
I don't know. To me, it's like a self checkout. How about you just give me the answers? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a self checkout guy unless I have like one thing. Then I'll just go to self checkout because it's fast, and I still would rather go to a person. Like, no, I don't need to drag and drop results and put them on the top. I don't need
That's
that.
the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Okay, another interesting news if you want to pay attention from @GlennGabe on Twitter. He says, as reported in April, Time removed its paywall as of June 1st. They're focused on advertising revenue versus digital subscriptions. Note, it had 250,000 digital subscriptions. Should be interesting to follow as advertising revenue becomes the focus. So you might want to check that. And from YouTube, creators in eligible countries can now qualify to apply to the YouTube Partners Program and unlock benefits like promoting their own products on shopping and fan funding features at the following thresholds, which have been lowered: 500 subscribers, 3 valid public uploads in the last 90 days, and either 3,000 valid public watch hours or 3 million valid public shorts views. I like how that's 2 orders of magnitude higher for shorts views.
That's important.
They're also expanding the YouTube Shopping Affiliate Program. So they're partnering with over 50 brands like Nordstrom, Sephora, Ulta, and Wayfair. So if you want more affiliate stuff, there's more there. And I hope this is lastly. It's not lastly, but from Brie Anderson, you can now create Google Analytics for audiences directly in Google Ads. Starting this month, you can build those audiences right within Google Ads, and you can be more efficient. So I actually like that. Good job, Google. And then lastly, there was a great podcast, the Search with Candor podcast. It was Jack Chambers Ward talking about his 10 SEO podcasts that you should listen to in 2023. And he started by talking about some of the most notable. Number 1 being Search on the Record / Off the Record, SERPs Up, Edge of the Web, Zine, Digital Ass, SEO Mindset. And we were number 6, Marketing the Clock. But he basically said number 1 in his heart and the real number 1. So I take that.
That's all you, because you're an SEO guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an SEO guy. How
It's
dare you?
It's your lightning round.
How
It's your
dare
realm.
you?
How dare you
But
do
I
such a good job?
It was a great, like helping other people out, promoting more podcasts. Just we need more positivity. It's just amazing.
we do.
So thank you, Jack Chambers Ward. Appreciate it. And a few podcasts that I would recommend, 100% SERPs Up, not because they're an advertiser. It's because they make evergreen content. Morty and Crystal just have such a good chemistry. I like the PPC chat with Anu. Anu is great. I don't make a lot of PPC chats, and she's got all those answers. That wasn't one that was on here. And then Edge of the Web is great. So those are my top 3. Maybe at some point we'll do a bigger list. But I just want to say a sincere thank you, Jack, for being your real number 1.
Did you want to transition that to me?
That's it in organic. What's happening in social, bud?
All right. First up in social this week, we hear plans from the new Twitter CEO, Linda Yaccarino, at Linda YACC on Twitter. She says, hello, Twitter. People keep asking me why Twitter, so I'll tell you, with like a pointing down emoji. And it's a long thread. And it's really just setting the stage for grand plans. She doesn't really talk too much about what they are, but she says Twitter is on a mission to become the world's most accurate real-time information source and global town square for communication. It's not an empty promise, it's our reality. It goes on to say that they have the opportunity to reach across aisles, create new partnerships, enable voices, I'm paraphrasing here, and essentially change the world. And here's a quote: from what I can tell so far, we are built for this. She says our first principles are questioning our assumptions and building something new from the ground up. It's rare to have the chance to put a new future into the hands of every person, partner, and creator on the planet. That's exactly why I'm here with all of you, she says. You can read the rest of the fluff on her own, but she kind of sets the stage for big things to come. Sounds very nice. We shall see. Some non-fluff news from the platform. Elon Musk tweeted that in a few weeks, X/Twitter will start paying creators for ads served in their replies. The first block of payment totals $5 million. And it says, note the creator must be verified and only ads served to verified users count. So that's something. He also tweeted separately that the platform will provide email addresses of subscribers who opt in to content creators, so creators are able to leave the platform easily and take their subscribers with them if they want.
That's amazing.
It's an interesting move. It's a nice thing. You would talk about goodwill. I feel like it's not bad will.
I mean, both of these are goodwill. I just don't know like how much those payments are with that first $5 million block.
Somebody made a joke about getting like 70 cents or something. Yeah.
But the fact that you're allowing people to subscribe to you on Twitter to get exclusive content, and you're going out of your way to say, you don't have to be platform dependent. If people opt in, you can take those emails with you and be on your own whenever I say the next stupid thing I'm going to say. Like, that is how you operate a business.
Assuming that they make good on that.
Minus all the stupid
Because
things
Google
he
used to
says.
say do no evil, and then they went on to do evil. So it's all about in practice. You got to practice what you
Allegedly
preach. Yeah.
evil. Yeah.
Beyond that, from @Titter Daily, because y'all love hearing me say that, they say news, Twitter engineers are moving fast to reboot Periscope, which I feel like I haven't heard about in a long time. Staff are currently racing to renovate the live video services code base, which has not been significantly updated since 2015. So I say a long time. I was right. I just feel like there's wild video wars going on, and I'm really interested to see what happens, because Twitter, obviously, you never would have, even a year ago, said video and Twitter in the same sentence. So
It's so smart. It's so smart.
It's smart.
Everybody else is doing, everybody's trying to rip off TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
They have the number one audio only spaces, right?
Mm-hmm.
The beat Clubhouse. You have subscriptions. If you can make, like, it all makes sense. No, if you recall, everybody was doing live. Facebook Live, Instagram Live. It's hard to even figure out how to do it anymore on there.
Couldn't tell
and
you,
you're like,
yeah.
oh yeah, let's do streaming. Like Twitch is doing their own thing like we talked about last week. Love it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's enough of the bird. Let's not forget about Meta. They are doing some things too. What they're doing, I'm not really sure. This is from Digital Information World, which I know we're not really supposed to say, but there was no other source for this news. So they're working on Music Gen, which is an AI-based music learning model that can produce music that's 12 seconds in duration as per rapid instructions. I don't know what that means.
What am I doing? 12 seconds.
Get your instructions in fast. So a developer working on the project shared a sample over Twitter in tables. Maybe you can insert the audio here. It is like a vampire and Snake Plissken had a baby.
Who's Snake Plissken?
Kurt Russell.
Oh, Escape from New York.
Yeah, Escape from New York, Escape from LA. So we'll pause here for that. Really good shit, right? So if you want to play with it, you are in luck. Here is how you can play with it. This is directly from the article. For those who are curious to get their hands on this, well, you're in luck. Simply go out and get your hands on it by heading over to the Hugging Face webpage of Meta. I don't know what the that means. Digital Information World. These articles are so hard to decipher.
I'm trying to get all the news.
The news is there. I don't know what it is though.
I usually tell people not to use generative AI and ChatGPT to write articles. I'm rescinding that from Digital Information World.
If you want to get your hands on it, you can just go out and get your hands on it. Hugging Face, I don't know. Anyway, it's a thing. It's maybe coming, and the music is good. Okay, finally, WhatsApp is getting a new feature. They're calling it Channels. They describe it as a one-way broadcast tool for admins to send text, photos, videos, stickers, and polls, which you can discover through a searchable directory as well as via invite links. So that seems cool. That seems legit. And that brings us to our real life segment, straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise.
This week's Working Hard or Hardly Working, what do you got for us, Greg?
All right. So I know you're supposed to use PMax in like one way where you have a lot of products and all this stuff. I don't use PMax the way that people like it. In some cases I do, but a lot of times I get creative with it. And one thing I'm doing right now that I think might work hard is I'm making a pseudo DSA with PMax by taking an entire list of all basically the URLs and categories that go into a PMax account that are on the site, and then removing certain categories into PMax so that it's like URL expansion, and then I have a master exclude list. So it's something we've been working on, just because a lot of times our DSAs are a little bit up and down. They were like really down in April and then up, and some of them are working again. I just want to try to use PMax in a way of DSA. So it's something we've concocted, and I'm going to report back on it, because you can't actually target URLs like you can with a DSA. And PMax, you have to exclude. So what we're trying to do is make giant exclusion lists and then just remove those certain categories we're trying to promote. So it's almost like a PMax DSA. So I'm really excited about it. May work, might not work, but I'll report back. Right now, it's a thought in my head that is working hard.
What about you, Jess?
I think it's bull that Google business profile data isn't broken out in Search Console the same way that Discover and Google News is. Like, you could see the traffic in there, but unless you have like URL parameters to differentiate it, it just looks like organic search traffic. And to me, the query starts the same, but how they get to your site is completely different. And I would love if they would just break that out. I think that would be really nice.
All right. And for me, working hard is the ClickUp integration in Slack. I did not realize you could create a ClickUp task directly from a Slack message, and we work really closely with our clients. I love having them in Slack, but sometimes things can get lost, so I just created a quick ClickUp task from their message, and I don't forget.
And now for this week's
Cool Tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners and is really, really cool.
All right, this week's cool tool will help you uncover more from GA4. It is a free Looker Studio dashboard template for auditing your GA4 account. It includes reporting for acquisition, pages, events and conversions, overall data quality, and e-commerce. This is from Kickpoint Playbook. And not only do you get the dashboard template, which is awesome, and you get it for free, it comes along with a how-to guide. And however you learn, there's an article and a video, so it's awesome. They show you how to use the report to essentially assess an auto-migrated UA to GA4 property, which is handy. Get the lay of the land on a new GA4 property you just got access to, determine if it's configured properly, dig into issues you might be seeing with your data, analyze your e-commerce configuration, or just get key performance insights quickly and easily, which is always nice. So to get started, you just make your own copy of the dashboard and hook it up to any GA4 property that you have access to, and bam, you can do all of this shit. So again, that is how to audit your GA4 account, plus a free Looker Studio dashboard from Kickpoint Playbook. And as always, we'll have the link in our newsletter at marketingoclock.com/newsletter, as well as on Discord, community.marketingoclock.com. So pick your poison and check it out.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
This week's must-read marketing article of the week is a trick. It's a session and a coffee talk. I mentioned earlier, ran through a bunch of SMX Q&As, and then we had a coffee talk, which is sort of like an open flowing conversation. This one this year was recorded, and it was me and Menachem Ani. We went through everything you need to know about smart bidding and just automation in general. It was one of my favorite talks that I've had, and you will be able to go still, I think for a limited time, go to SMX Advanced, and you can still get all the presentations, all the Q&As. So if you want more of me, I don't know why you would. You can see all that there. And then my favorite presentation was the one and only Corey Henke. He absolutely crushed a YouTube ads video. It was unbelievable. It talks about in-feed, the halo effect. He has just charts that everybody would die for. Unbelievable. Just there's so much value in that alone. And you might think like, hey, I'm just doing like search marketing, or I'm doing this. Check that out. It's the zig to the zag, like I always talk about. I love those two. The coffee talk with Menachem and Corey Henke's SMX presentation. Please Go check those out. You will thank me later.
And now onto our playlist of curated songs to work to, which you can find over at playlist.marketingoclock.com. What is going on your playlist this week, Greg?
All right, I've got a song by John Fulbright called Moving.
Never heard of it. I'm going with I can't stop listening to this song like 6 times today so far. Sad White Reggae by Placebo.
And I'll be adding Pelota by Krungbin. All right, that does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Thanks for listening.
We miss you already.
And we can't wait to see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered. We share the news as it breaks in our Discord community. Head over to community.marketingoclock.com to join.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shootin the Heck, where after our famous Friday news shows, we don't talk about marketing anymore. We just
shoot the heck.
And this week, we are playing everybody's favorite game. Jess, what is that game?
2 kinds of people.
And this is something where you are binary on this. It's one way or another. There's no in between.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you want to start first?
I would love to start.
And then we're going to say what kind of people we are.
Mm-hmm. So this is something that I didn't realize there were 2 kinds of people until recently, discussing potty training with other mothers. There are people, when it comes to toilet paper, that fold it up nicely and people that wad it. I'm a wadder, personally. Folding toilet paper is a waste of time.
Well, she's a wadding 10.
Yeah, I know.
That's true. But in true to the name, I do wad.
Thank you.
Why would
It's
you
the only
fold
way.
it?
People do. And
I
because then
don't
you can
think
get
so.
more. The mother was describing this to me. You can get in there better, like in butts.
Well, if you're wiping someone else's yes.
Oh, no. I
if
wad
you're-
all the time.
But if you're
I can't be
wiping
bothered.
your own then wad.
Never once folded it into a toilet paper sandwich and used
That's
it.
what people do.
Tables.
I am somebody who just crinkles it up.
Yes. See, I thought this was universal. It also turns out I live with a folder, which I didn't know. I didn't know.
Really?
Yes. I mean,
Oh
it
my
all
gosh.
makes sense now, knowing what I know about my husband. But I just we had never talked about it really, because who watches their spouse poop?
Some people.
Right? 2 kinds of people.
There's 2 kinds of people. People that know where to find a pollen chart and reference it regularly, or people that don't.
A what?
Pollen chart.
I think I know where you fall.
I wouldn't know.
No, I don't even know what one is.
Like
Some people like the pollen score.
allergies?
Yeah, I guess
Oh.
so. I don't even know what it is. Somebody's like, the pollen chart's off the rails today. I'm like, what?
Oh, in the weather app, which you don't even use.
No, I don't know what a pollen chart is. I don't
No.
know how to do it. I had an inhaler when I was a kid. Don't have one now. Don't care about pollen.
No, I mean, you can feel it when it's out there. You can see it.
Yeah,
on
I can
your
like see. I, like,
furniture.
all right, yeah.
Just
there's
look out your
something in the
window.
air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't like not go outside. I don't even know how to see a pollen chart.
All right. 2 types of people. People who will text you before they're going to call you, or people who just call you.
I don't call anyone, and I certainly wouldn't give them a warning if I was quit. That's insane.
Yeah, I don't say, hey, you're around. I just call.
Right.
Yeah, but
If
I don't
you
call
don't
a lot of
pick up.
people.
Maybe
Right.
this is generational then, because I feel like no one I know would ever just call me out of the blue. They would always like text and make sure like I'm available to pick up, and then they'd call.
No, you gotta get.
But what's the point
you should
of
just
calling?
go the opposite way and just get super aggressive and just FaceTime people.
That's
Ugh.
scary.
Yeah, just
No.
FaceTime.
Uh-uh.
I'm just
No.
gonna start FaceTiming you.
Go ahead. I'm not answering. You can leave me a voicemail, which I won't listen to.
I'm gonna FaceTime you over the weekend.
Can't wait.
All right. And Jess, another one?
Oh, yeah. So when you are staying in a hotel, there are people that allow housekeeping to come during their stay, and there are people that hang that thing on the door that says do not disturb for the entirety of their stay.
If I'm working in the room, obviously I'm going to disqualify that. So a lot of times when I'm at a hotel, I'm doing work as well, and then I'll be in the room, and sometimes I miss housekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
But every single time I take housekeeping.
You do?
I want that
For it.
clean.
Yeah.
I like the nice sheets. I want it cleaned up.
No.
Yeah, I lean towards the housekeeping thing. Although if the hotel says outright that they're not going to come unless you like put it out, then sometimes I'm like, oh, just let it go.
You don't like it?
No, I do not want to be disturbed. I will go to the front desk and get new towels. I will do all the things. I don't want them cleaning up. I don't know. I don't know. I don't.
You must make a big old mess.
I don't make them. That's the thing. I'm not messy, so maybe that's why. But I don't need new sheets. I don't want them making my bed. I want to feel at home, and it doesn't feel. It's kind of like, I don't want to say invasive because it's a nice service. I just don't prefer it.
All right, this is an easy one, but I feel like this is a very divisive. You're either a person that likes gin or hates gin. There's not anybody in the middle that's like, oh, I'll have a gin.
I'm okay with gin.
But do you like it?
Yeah.
So if somebody offered you a gin drink, you would drink it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not what I'm ordering if it's an open-ended question, but I'm not going to be off-put by gin. I will take the gin, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gin, 100%.
Yeah, it's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't love gin, but it's like, I feel like you either like it or you don't. There's not like middle ground.
It's the
with gin.
cilantro of beverages.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll have it or you
exactly.
will not
Tables.
have it.
Are you a gin guy?
I do like gin. I don't know if gin likes me.
That's a whole different question.
My wife absolutely loves gin, so we have gin whenever we have parties and stuff.
All right, Nicole.
All right. So 2 types of people who will put in directions and will not follow them in the maps. Like they'll be like, I know a faster way, and it will reroute them the whole entire way. Or people who just like to follow the directions, even if they know there's a different way.
If I'm taking the time to put the directions in, I'm following the directions. If I want to go wild mode and be like, Lewis and Clark out there,
Yeah.
I won't even use the map. I'll just go.
Right.
And sometimes I'll do that though. But if I'm putting the directions in the map, I'm
You're
using
following.
those directions.
Because how annoying is she or he, whoever you have as your voice, when you're like, they're rerouting you. They're like, turn around, make a U-turn.
Yeah.
Like, no, I've overridden you on purpose. I would just not deal with that.
Yeah. But sometimes
On
I do
or
like
off.
being like, I know it's that way and I'm just going to go.
I love to just go that
Don't
way.
you?
When you know
And then
something's
you're like-
over there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like, when do you give up? And
Yeah.
you're finally wrong. I also feel like they should have like an adventure mode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like,
Mm.
you hit it and it's like, you're going to see some stuff. Like you go this way, you're going to see something.
I think that's ways just in general.
Yeah. No, there's something too. If you do know where you're going, maybe you've been there a couple of times. I like to put it in just to see if I can get there faster. I'll go the route, but I'm going to beat that ETA. I'm going to beat it. I'm going to shave minutes off, and that feels really good. So it's
Yeah.
like nice for that too.
All right. And we will see you next week.